Hey, this is Pete Ekman with RoboZone Podcast. This is our first, almost the first for the new season, a GoPro corner from Kettering University, sponsored by Kettering University. I've got John from Kettering University. How you been doing, John?
I've been doing great and I'm super excited about this year. It's going to be awesome.
We're 10 days away from kickoff. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can't wait. I already went out and bought a whole crap load of wood and stuff to build the parts for the field to get them up. And yeah, can't wait. I just want to see the instructions.
Yep. And we're taping this in between Christmas and New Year's. So happy belated Christmas or holidays or your choice.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and
Merry Christmas.
Merry belated Christmas.
That's right.
And Happy New Year. And yeah, I'm excited.
I can't believe we're only 10 days away. You, me, Kim is in Florida. We're hoping she makes it back with all the cancellations for air flights. It's crazy
Yeah.
out there. So we're wishing her safe travels back. But we wanted to provide a quick update because we've already lined up pretty much every week after kickoff for our GoPro Corner update and our main interview for those episodes. So I've got the list, John, but there's some big names here, right? We're talking
Oh
about
yeah.
right out of the get-go on the 5th of January. We're taping one with the FRC design and build timeline with the Hall of Fame team, 27 Rush. Everyone knows Rush. Can't wait to talk to them again. I'm sure Kyle will be on with us.
Yeah, and they have a great timeline, exactly where you should be, what weeks and stuff like that. I think that's really important this year. There's not a lot of quote unquote rookie teams, but there are a lot of teams that are really just, starting back up after almost 2 years of really no build season, right? Or build and no competition season and stuff like that. And you lose some people and you bring in a lot of new people, new mentors and stuff like that. And I think that's really important to be able to help them lay out what their season, build season should be like.
Yeah, on the 12th of January, and we're going to be live streaming all these as well on our live stream. So when we're doing the interviews, it's not just for the podcast, but actually live streaming it, and then we're going to use it for the podcast, both the video and the audio. But on 112, we have a double header. We've got the RI 3D days at Kettering University with Nick from the BattleBots team from Kettering, and then Kristen Smith from FAC. She's the VP of FAC. So that's only one piece of the doubleheader. And then we have none other than Clinton Bollinger from the Engine Nerds talking about the strategy for the 2022 Rapid React game, which I can't wait. I think that's going to be an amazing discussion. I always enjoy Clinton's look at the game and what he brings and says, hey, I think this is what it's going to be. So can't wait.
Oh yeah. And if people don't know what FAC is, it's the first alumni at Kettering. So it's all the first alums that join in and help do that robot in 3 days. So they look at it from a first perspective and stuff.
Right.
And Clinton, gives that, you think of the first week, how are you going to build? What should your calendar look like, right? Then you look at the second week. This is what they could do in 3 days, and then get Clinton on there and say, here's the strategy that I see, and here's how I see it playing out. And that's just great for what they're trying to do at the right time and the right people.
And then we're jumping. I'm going to be jumping around for people that because we have great listeners, but they're very detail oriented. So there's one that we haven't cemented for 119. I'm not going to mention names, but it could be a team from Texas that's going to come on board and talked about the design process for FRC teams. Let your mind wander if you're listening to this, what that team could be from Texas, a well-known team. But we're still in the process of cementing some of these. And then on 126, we're going to have the Frog Force 503, the Frog Force. They're the 2021 World Championship Chairman Award winner from 2021. And they're going to come on board and talk about their chairman's award process, because everyone wants to win chairman's, right? But there's a lot of work to get to that point to where you can apply and get ready and do all the, the community involvement that's required to properly win that award. So I can't wait to interview them. I think that's going to be a great one.
Oh, I think it'll be fun, and I think it'll be great and enlightening, right? Especially to the teams that are veteran teams that are kind of restarting. Where do I got to be, and what do I got to do to get there? So, yeah.
On 2-2, we have maybe another famous Texas team that's going to stop by. And maybe this team builds a robot, a very specific robot every year to help those rookie or first year rebuilding year teams. And we'll let you guys guess what that one's going to be, but we don't want to mention names until we get it cemented. And then we're going to talk. We already have booked Team Spectrum 3847 out of California, and they're going to talk about the FRC manipulators for the 2022 game. So that one will be good. That's going to be in February. You can tell we've got all these lined up. I can't wait, because it's just easy. I know that what we got to do. We just stream it, we cut it, and then we release it. So it's great. And then the last one we have right now that we're still cementing is a world famous California team that also may be a snack that you might eat. And they may be coming on board talking about prepping for your first 2022 competition. Can't wait to see that one. Everyone knows that team. So I think it's the team that doesn't need to be named, but I'm going with that, John.
Yeah, that's good. So you being a head mentor,
yeah,
what do you think of this schedule and how it's put together, and what you could get out of it?
When we worked on this, I thought it's a great. I think everyone would want to listen to this, because I think whether you're rebuilding your team or your rookie team, or you want to take your team to the next level, I think that listening to all these and listening to the people that are coming on board for these are kind of the subject matter experts. And SME for kids that are listening to this, students are listening to this, subject matter experts in my field, because in my professional career, you want to bring the best of the best on board, because then you learn from them. So I think as a head mentor that I'm going to tell all my students to listen to these episodes or watch the stream and see what they can come out with it, because we won't be having a build night that night, because that way I could be with you and recording it. But I think that there's a very well-rounded amount of information that can be done. I think this might be the best season for the podcast yet too, because
I think it will be
big names out there that are coming. So at least from the FRC world, right? I always hope for Dean Kamen. Never been able to interview that guy, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day. You never know.
So how's Kettering getting ready? I mean, you guys host the kickoff. You host a kickoff at your place. I know, like, the Engine Nerds, giving them a plug, do a build and seminars the day after, or the day of it and the day after. I think they do it the day of is the seminars, and then the day after is robot build kind of stuff. Is Kettering getting ready? Are they excited about getting back to normal?
We are so excited. We have 51 teams, I think it is, at kickoff registered. We already got all the kits and everything that will be dispersing to the teams and stuff. And we have rooms for a lot of the teams already set, so they can take some time for themselves and think things out and stuff. And we are just super excited about a real season happening again. And that's why I've already went out and, like I said, procured a bunch of the wood and hardware and stuff that we need to do. And as soon as they release the plans and start working on building real field parts, field assemblies. Now, so it should be, we're psyched about this.
Our first 2 years that my team was around, we were at Kettering University for kickoff, and we did do the build with Engine Nerds the day after, because I had students that never done it, and it was amazing. And some of them went to the seminars. There's always a lot of information there. We wish we were with you this year, but we're actually hosting a kickoff event for all the Livingston County teams, the
Oh,
LCRA
that's
as we
cool.
call us. Yeah, so all of us,
Yeah.
Brighton and us and Howell and some championship teams there. Everyone knows the Tutler
Yeah.
Dogs. Everyone knows the Gems out of Cheryl Stockwell Academy. They're all going to be there. So it's going to be good to get back to learning right out of the get-go with our neighbors, as we call them, all the teams in that area. So, but we'll be there in spirit at Kettering because it is an amazing place to do kickoff. So
It certainly is. And when you just think about what Kettering's trying to do around robotics, um, this is one of the most fun events, right, that you can think of, because you get all these people together, start talking about what it is, because it's released, and then they get their kit parts, and then they stand around and talk, and what about this? What about that? What are you thinking here? And it is just energizing
yes,
to the beginning of the year. It energizes us and makes us go, wow, this is cool.
it's
This is going
better
to be
than the
cool.
Super Bowl for me. Kickoff is.
It is for me too. Um, because I'm not just watching, this is real, right? You're involved in this and you're participating in this and you're going, yeah, because there's, so, once we start talking, there's no wins and no losses so far. So everybody's
Right.
out there and has a chance. And the way this game is played, who knows? Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And I know that we'll be, at least I'm going to try to get my team there at week 0 at Kettering University to
I certainly hope
to
so.
run our prototype machine out there and see how it does, and do some stress testing and get ready for week 1, because we have a week 1 event for our team. I always like to do week 1 because I think it's the most fair. The meta has not been determined. Everyone's on the same playing field, and I think this year especially. So
Yeah, this year is going to be so unique, and this is different than every other year because we haven't really been there. And once this starts, I think it's just going to be so exciting and just rock.
oh yes,
So
cannot wait. So what else do you want to tell us about getting ready, John, before I let you go and start to get this ready to put out there on the internet for everyone to watch and get them excited about Kettering Kickoff or FRC 2022 Rapid React?
well, what I would suggest is get your rest now because you won't get rest during the season.
True story.
and and two, maybe go out and look at other kickoffs. See how you would take that information within your team and how you would look at it and put a strategy together, and maybe some of the simple designs you would make for manipulators, just not to drastic detail, but at least get yourself in the mode of, oh, this is it, this is a game, this is how we play, and look at some of the past games, to see how, if there's a ball involved, or if there's discs involved, or if there's whatever it is, right? For game pieces, because we don't know that, you can look at different ways to do that and prepare yourself, especially this year since you haven't really done it, um, to be able to take the best out of it and process that information. Um, I would say, in a game manner, because again, you only got so many weeks to build, and what can you build? And the other thing is, what I asked the teams in the center to do was to do a SWOT analysis of their team. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What do they see opportunities and threats? Because strengths and weaknesses are internal to the team. So you can look at that. And then once you do that SWOT analysis, I ask them to put down their goals for the year and be realistic, right? What can you achieve? Do you need to keep it simple and just be good at one or two things? Or, to be honest with yourself, that'll give you I think, the best perspective. But I think that SWOT analysis is important, for a team to understand, and also to look at the end of the season and say, how close were we? How did we do that? And where do we need to get better at things, right? Just like any team does within any sports and stuff like that. So
All good pieces of advice, like always, with you, John. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you on the Monday between the holidays for coming on board and letting us interview you, catch up, get ready to go. This is kind of like shaking the cobwebs out of interviewing and getting ready for the normal season, right?
you got that right. Again, I am so excited. I just want to get out there and build the field pieces and look at them and see in real, right? Not just look at them, on pictures and see how things are going to do. I want to build them and get that real, up close personal perspective on them.
10 days. 10 days, John.
10
You'll
days.
get your wish.
10 days.
So we're gonna let you go. We're gonna let you rest up, get ready for the 8th of January. We'll check in with you next week, see how things are progressing, and then let's get ready for a 2022 Rapid React season.
You got that, buddy.
Happy New Year early, John. If I don't get to talk to you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone.